30-year-old tanning salon owner William Parcell is suing former friend, 20-year-old waitress Amber Thomas, for airfare and expenses for a tanning salon trade show.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. Your Honor, this is case number 322 on the calendar in the matter of Parcell versus Thomas. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Parcell, what kind of work do you do?
I own a tanning salon.
Where?
In Bend, Oregon.
According to your complaint, the defendant owes you expenses for a trip that you took her on, some kind of a conference. Where was the conference?
It was a trade show in Las Vegas.
How did you know her?
She had been a client at my salon. Also, one of my friends was her boss at her job up there in Oregon.
So tell me how it came about that you invited her on this trip.
Last April of 1999, I had purchased originally 6 tickets. And about a month before leaving, I had talked to Amber about the trade show and what was going on. And she seemed really interested and she wanted to go.
What kind of trade show was it?
Indoor tanning.
Go ahead.
And she said she really wanted to go, so I said, well, look, I got the tickets.
What kind of tickets were these?
Airline tickets, trade show tickets.
Go ahead.
So anyways, after I told her the expenses, she said...
What expenses did you tell her?
I told her approximately the airfare was going to be about $135 round trip. I said we could upgrade up to first class for $40 each way, and she liked the idea of that.
Okay, go ahead.
So anyways, after I told her the expenses, she said she wanted to go. I said, well,
that was the expense you told her, the airline
Well, no,
ticket.
the airline, half the hotel, which approximately be about $150. The car rental, which also split in half, about $150.
So she was going to go with you, not with the other 6 people.
She and I, there's actually four people that went. We got 2 different cars. Amber and myself split 1 car, and we split 1 hotel room.
So you stayed in the hotel room with Amber?
Yeah, there was 2 beds in the room.
Okay. And what was the hotel room?
$270,281.
Was the entire cost?
The entire cost.
Well, what was half the cost?
You have a calculator? It's $270,281 divided by 2.
136.
Thank you. 136. And $150 for the car rental. Is that her?
No,
is that half of it or the whole thing?
No, actually, the car rental came to a total of $137.40 divided in half.
What other expenses did you tell her?
The trade show, the tickets cost $79 per person, and I have an itinerary of what was included in that, as far as the seminars and the private parties and
okay. What else?
Food and beverage.
You didn't tell her about food and beverage.
Well,
Mr. Parcell.
Originally, I told her, bring your money for the food and beverage. You know, she could pay herself, but she didn't bring any money with her.
Okay. Go ahead. What else?
Gasoline for the car and the tipping of the valet for parking and bringing our bags up to her room.
Mr. Parcell, you didn't tell her about those things.
No, I told her.
Okay. You told her, if I believe you, that she was be responsible for $172 for the airfare, $136 for half the room, $68 for the car, and the trade show tickets was $79. Yes. Okay, that's what you told her, maybe.
That was the basic expenses. Who knows what food and everything's going to cost?
Right. So you went to the trade show with her. Did she give you any money for these things?
She said she could give me the money within 2 weeks of when we left. That time came. She had subsequently gotten fired or left her job that she was working at, and she came in and told me. And at that time, I was stuck with the tickets. And I said, well, do you have any job prospects? She said, yeah. When I get back, I have 3 possibilities. One's at a bed and breakfast, one's at a, I believe, a piercing studio, and another one at a ice cream parlor.
Okay.
And she said that she'd be able to pay me back within 2 or 3 months from that time.
So you went to the show. You all went together.
Yeah.
And?
We had a great time. The whole week we were there, no problems, having fun. She never attended any of these seminars. She pretty much just drank and hung out at the pool and wanted to get marijuana the whole time.
So?
Well, you know, she kept on bugging me about it. Can you call your friends?
I'm not interested in that.
You know, that's what her activities, you know, were down there.
And she never paid you any money?
Never paid me any money. Before we left, I said, look, if you go down there and you get the certification for indoor tanning, which is included in the package, you can work at my place a few days a week to help pay this off. But she never got the certification, and then when we got back, she had moved to Florida.
Okay, Ms. Thomas, let's hear from you.
First part of Bill's story was totally correct. We had met at the tanning salon, and Bill had told me about the trade show and whatnot, and was needing somebody to work in his salon because he had previously fired everybody else who would work for him. And he asked me if I would, go down there with him so I could learn more about the convention and about the industry, meet the people. So we went, and the only reason I had went with him is because it was under a strict understanding that this was supposed to be a tax write-off. Like he said, yes, I had just lost my job, but
just a second. Tell me about that. Tell me about strict understanding that it was a tax write-off.
He said that because there was 2 other girls who went, and they went to strip at a strip club, and so they were paying him back for the tickets that they had used, because they didn't go for the tanning show or trade show or anything that we were there for. Okay. Him and I went, and when I went with him before I met him in the salon, he had told me about this, said, this would be a good opportunity for you. It's going to be a tax write-off for me because the salon is able to just write this all off. So I figured, yeah, sounds great. It just happened to be during my birthday. Thought, perfect opportunity.
Stop playing with papers.
And so we went, we went down there, and I went to the trade shows.
So what you're telling me, Ms. Thomas, is that there was absolutely no discussion of money.
Oh, besides food and alcohol. Yeah, I brought my own money for food.
That there was no discussion of money with him for the airline tickets, for the trade show, that you would reimburse him for any of this money, that you had lost your job, that you didn't have the money to give him before you went. That is not true.
Oh yeah, no, we had talked about the fact that I had lost my job, and that's why there would be no way that I'd be able to go on this trip, and that's when he brought up the fact that it was a tax write-off.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He was sitting back at the bar talking trash on me, and then it got to the point where he would mad dog people that I would be talking to, getting really possessive and really weird.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. William Parcell says Amber Thomas owes for a trip to Las Vegas to attend a tanning salon trade show. Amber says William used the trip as a tax write-off.
So what you're saying, Ms. Thomas, is that he told you that you would not have to pay for the airline tickets, the car rental, the ticket to the trade show, that you would not be expected to reimburse him for that.
Correct.
What do you think caused him to change his mind?
We went down there, and like he said, at first everything was fine, and my witness can attest to this. She was around a lot of the time, and she was able to see this. First, like I said, everything was fine, and then it got to the point where he would mad dog people that I would be talking to, getting really possessive and really weird. We went to one party, and he was getting really upset that I wasn't going to go in there with him. And so he came over and was really upset. Well, why aren't you going in there with me? I said, well, Bill, if you want to go over there so bad, then you should just go. I'm right here. And Bill said, I don't know about you. Maybe it's easier for you just to walk up to people and talk to them. But it's not that easy for me. And that's when I said, well, Bill, is this the only reason you brought me here, was for introductions so that I can introduce you to people? So, when we were at the shows, I just walk up, oh, hi, how you doing? And he said, well, basically, yeah. So that was the end of our conversation for that night. We went one more night, and we had gone to the trade show that day, and then that evening we went to Studio 54. Lots of people were there having a good time. I went and was dancing on the dance floor with some other people. Meanwhile, he was sitting back at the bar talking trash on me. Oh, look at Amber's over there dancing with all those people. That's a bad crowd. Those people are a bad crowd. You shouldn't be around. Talking terrible to the people that I know from about me. Oh, So anyways, at the end of that, he came up to me after the party was over. Well, if you need a ride back to the casino, then I'll give you one now. But I'm going gambling with these girls. By then, I was like, I don't really understand what's your problem here. We came down here as a strict understanding that we're friends. You're giving me attitude that I don't understand where it's coming from. And by that time, our conversation got quite a bit heated, and I asked him if he'd take me back to the casino now so that I could get my belongings out of his hotel room, which I did. It got so bad to the point where his attitude was so nasty, I couldn't be around him. 4:30 in the morning, got all my stuff out of the hotel, and I went and sat down in the lobby for about an hour. I was totally crying. Somebody came up to me, and they just happened to be leaving and gave me their hotel room so I could sleep a couple hours before my plane left the next day. And so we went to the trade show the next day. You know, Bill was completely staying away from me, would not say a word to me, and, you know, he was basically my only ride to the airport, so I had to beg him to give me a ride to the airport, and that was fine. That was the last words we had said were the night before. Bill has not said another word to me since then. I got back to Oregon. I was back in Oregon for 4 days when I went and moved to Florida. And now when I was in Florida, I had heard through people that he'd be calling there, asking questions about me, talking trash on me, and my friend George had to tell him, you know, I'm not going to be able to talk to you anymore if you're not going to talk about business.
Mr. Parcell, I have a couple of questions for you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
When was this trade show?
It's June 21st of 1999.
And when had you purchased these 6 tickets? 6 packages?
The first part of April.
You went, she went. Did 4 other people go with the 6 tickets that you bought?
Out of the 6 tickets, only 4 people went.
What happened with the other 2 tickets?
They didn't go. They lost out. They paid me the money that I paid for the tickets.
Okay.
Your Honor?
Yes.
If I can add on a couple things that she had mentioned earlier. The part about the tax write-off, she has to be an employee first before there's any partial of a tax write-off, so that's news to me why she's saying that. The Venetian
Sir, are you telling me that when you purchased tickets to the trade show at $79 a piece, you did not use your corporate account?
I use my American Express card.
Is that a corporate American Express? Take it out and take a look at it.
It is.
Of course it is. Which means at the end of the year, when your accountant looks over your expenses, you see, you can't even keep a straight face. You see how hard it is? All right. So you understand that when you bought tickets to the trade show, that would be a business expense. But, Ms. Thomas, it's not that you don't pay the money. It's that you pay the money, but there is a certain tax advantage in using it as a business expense, which means maybe you pay, it costs you half. Mm-hmm. You don't get it for free. Mm-hmm. Do you understand that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If what you're telling me is that the reason he took you was because he was training you to be an employee.
To see if it was something that I was interested, see if I had knowledge on it.
No. Now I got a problem.
Parcell says Amber Thomas owes for a trip to a tanning salon trade show. Amber says William wanted to be repaid only after she turned down his sexual advances.
Okay. Very difficult to resolve this matter. You both make very, very convincing arguments, but...
Your Honor?
Yes.
I do have some tape evidence here.
That says?
It's Miss Thomas calling me.
It was after he had been harassing me in Florida for so long.
I never
Does this acknowledge a debt? Is that what it does?
No.
Maybe not, no. But she has said earlier that I was possessive of her and everything, and this contradicts that whole thing because I've had no way to contact her.
What am I supposed to hear on this tape, sir? I'm only interested in hearing anything that is germane to this issue.
Well, she said earlier that I was possessive, but that I needed to be with her somehow all time, that I needed her to help me introduce me to people,
Vegas.
Which is untrue. And I mean, I have no way to contact her, but yet she contacts me and starts swearing at me and acting all crazy on the tape.
That was after about 3 months of Bill calling and talking very bad
Ms.
things
Thomas,
about
let's
me.
start with this. You were not in a romantic relationship with the plaintiff. You knew him strictly from going to his tanning salon, right? Mm-hmm. Why would you think that he would give you as a gift and then upgrade your ticket to first class, a round-trip airline ticket to Las Vegas?
Because the rest of the people were sitting in first class. I would have been the only one sitting back in coach.
Just a second. That's not my question. Why do you think he would pay for your airline ticket to begin with?
Your Honor, I was completely under the assumption that because I was supposed to start working for his salon once I got back.
Well, did you?
No, we had a terrible time down there when we ended.
Well, just 1 second, that puts a different spin on it, Ms. Thomas. If what you're telling me is that you went there and he took you there, and the understanding between the two of you was that he would prepare you to work in the salon, and then you didn't, then you breached the agreement.
No.
If what you're telling me is that the reason he took you was because he was training you to be an employee.
To see if it was something that I would, you know. go down there and see if that was something that I was interested, see if
No.
I had knowledge on it?
Nope. Now I got a problem. But Mr. Parcell, I also have a little bit of problem with some of your numbers, sir. Let me tell you what problem I have. I believe that she is absolutely responsible for the airfare, for her own airfare. And that airfare is $172. Let's see if I can work this thing, Bert. I'm going to try all by myself, okay?
Okay.
All right. 172. And I believe that you, sir, are responsible for her trade show ticket, because you took it as a write-off. Now, as far as your rental car was concerned, the other two people that went down with you, the girls that went down with you that you didn't see much, they were going to rent their own car.
I rented the car for them.
Or you rented the car
Yeah.
for them. There's no question in my mind that you were going to have your own car because you weren't all traveling together, right?
4 people, 2 different directions.
Right, so you're going to have your own car anyway, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
had people
Well, you-
that I knew
shh,
down
shh,
there.
Listen to me. You were going to have your own car anyway, right?
Yes.
No. So the fact that she came with you and she rode with you, you didn't have any additional expense because she went there. I'm just talking about what she could reasonably expect to have to pay you for going down there.
Well, we talked about the car, the hotel, trade show tickets, and the airfare.
You had the hotel anyway, sir. Did you pay any extra for her at the hotel?
Yeah, there was charges for that I didn't use, services that I did not use.
Like what?
I have to look at it, but the phone calls, food that she had
I never
charged
made
to the
any
room.
phone calls. I had a phone card that I used at a payphone.
If you use the hotel phone and you even use a
Downstairs
payphone.
at the hotel?
Just a second. Mr. Parcell, you have the hotel bill now? This would be interesting.
Yeah, I do. I have.
Show me the phone calls that you attribute to her. She says she used a phone card. There aren't a whole lot of phone calls on this. There's only one phone call,
Yeah.
long distance call, for $1. One for $1.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Mr. Parcell, you had no additional expenses because she shared the hotel room with you. You would have done that anyway. You had no additional expenses for the car that you rented. You would have rented a car anyway. The only additional expense that you had, because Miss Thomas went, was the airline ticket. And I think she should be responsible to pay that back to you, because quite frankly, I don't think that there was a meeting of the minds that you had with regard to what the contractual arrangement was between you as far as her paying you back. I do believe that there was some sort of an agreement that you had that she would come back and she would work in your salon. She decided not to do that. She evidently didn't like your attitude, or something happened down there that she decided that this was not going to be her life's profession. That being the case, she should be at least responsible for your direct out-of-pocket expenses as a result of her going with you. As a result of her going with you. And your out-of-pocket expenses as a result of her going with you were $172. The rest of it, you would have paid for anyway. Judgment for the plaintiff in that amount. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Yeah, this is case number 283 on the calendar, the matter of House versus Sparks. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. You folks have seats, please.
Ms. House, according to your complaint, you have a son whose name is Paul.
Yes, I do.
And the defendant has several children.
Yes.
One of those children is a young girl. What is her name?
Vanessa.
And Paul and Vanessa, who is not here, are friends.
Right, they were.
According to what I've read, your son was at home
Yes,
and he wasn't supposed to have any company.
right.
And Vanessa was there.
Vanessa wasn't there, the boys were there.
Her brothers came over and you believe they stole money from you.
Correct?
And you found this out. You went over to the defendant's home.
Correct.
When you got to the defendant's home, the boys came back from a shopping spree at the local department store.
They had $100 worth of toys sitting there in a bag.
Well, you called the police at some point. Police came over and had a family conference. Is that right?
With my part of the family. The houses were not involved in that part.
And at that conference, you agreed to reimburse Mrs. House
Yes.
for the stolen money. How much did you agree to reimburse her?
I was going to pay back $600.
And you did, in fact, make some payments on that.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
And then you stopped.
Yes.
Now, Miss House, What makes you think that the boys, his boys, stole your money?
Simple thing of it is that when he was supposed to come over, I went ahead and I said, I found out who got into this money. They said, yeah, we did.